Hi guys, welcome to Water Lily Healing. On today's pick a card, we're going to do How Do I Heal My Love Life. Now, I already had one of these and it was different because I've been, on the first reading, I've been consulting an oracle, and the kind of information is very different. So if you want, I'll link it in the description below, you can check it out. And today we're going to talk more about the mental processes and things you've been through that may have been kind of difficult to come back from and may impact your love life today. And that's it. Yeah, so pick a card or a candle. We've got 3, so take a deep breath. Try to connect energetically to this feeling of my love life and how I would like it to improve. And let's dive right in. So pile number 1. Pile number 1. The first thing that jumps out at me here is a lot of compromise. And I kind of feel that you're very frozen, like completely frozen in the sense of love life. Either you go to so many dates that you can't even remember their names or faces, or you don't date at all. But I feel like you became really jaded, and it's like you sit in front of the TV and you hope to find something nice to watch, but you're just flipping through the channels and not actually stopping to check what is on to see whether you like it or not. You're just in this inertia of flipping channels. And what I get here is that it's like you had some sort of this past baggage, I think, from childhood, and I think it's true about all of us that we had some sort of bad experience. We showed ourselves and it didn't get the kind of enthusiasm we were looking for, and we kind of learned that we need to hide ourselves. If we want validation and love, we need to say what people want to hear and do what people want us to do. And I feel like you've got very clear vision about your true self and what you are and who you are, but I feel that there's a big gap between this and the outside world, and you kind of taught yourself that this is just fantasies, and I feel like you're spending a lot of time in those fantasies, and I understand that the real world means kind of compromising and hiding myself and just doing this whole circus production for people. And I feel like when you are with people who are really close to you and you show yourself, you're like a beacon of light. Like you bring joy and excitement, and you're awesome and you're very loved, but as soon as it gets to your love life, you become kind of this, you wear the fancy dress and the makeup and you go and you say all the right things, but you're not actually present. You're like a decorated war hero that's kind of got tired and became really jaded. So you just sit there, but you're not present because you learned as a kid that if you show yourself, you get hurt. So you make sure to not show up and not be present, and the real you is feeling very betrayed and abandoned, like you stuck her in this warehouse somewhere. And if you're not present, even if you find Prince Charming and he loves you, you know that he never actually met you because you never allowed him to see the real you, so you will never feel loved. And I feel that because of all the compromises and because of this discord that you may have with yourself, you also choose a lot of wrong partners because you're not actually there to steer yourself towards the right people, to listen to your inner voice and to identify your true emotional and mental needs. So you compromise a lot, and you compromise your own truth and your own personality. And I feel like you're someone who is waking up in the morning and being really goofy and silly and funny and nonsensical in an awesome kind of way, like a fun person. and then like as soon as it gets to this time when you need to like start and get dressed for a date, you stand in front of the mirror and you're being like really judgmental, like this is ugly and this is not okay and who can even love this and stuff like that, and you're just feeling very misunderstood. But I feel that like this all could end if you just be honest with yourself. Like say maybe you think that you are not awesome. I see some like insecurity issues, but I feel like when you're like at a situation, at an intimate romantic situation, you are not there, you are not present, and you're just doing what you technically need to do in order for this to technically progress. Obviously it never works, and like it always ends the same, like a waste of time for you, because I feel like you're on this hamster wheel of flipping the channels, and because you're not actually letting yourself to it's like you don't incorporate your inner voice into the process and your true inner self. So just like useless, it's like brainless activity. And I feel you just need to jump off this hamster wheel of inertia, and you need to like start loving yourself first of all. I feel that there is some lack of self-love, specifically in this matter of romance. And you can even like start with small things. Take a bath, for example, with herbs and essential oils, meditate, ground, go do some shopping. Just an example, you don't have to. But like love yourself, and it doesn't matter how like crazy or like quirky you think you are. Like there's someone for everybody here. And as long as you're hiding and you're just like shooting in all directions, hoping that something will turn out, it's just a huge waste of energy for you. And like, even though I feel like you're very disconnected emotionally from the process, I think that every time you go on a bad date, it kind of stinks. It kind of leaves some kind of a skid mark on your heart. And I feel that like you need to work on like find out what was this moment when you were a kid that you learned that it's not okay to show yourself, and that it will only like bring you heartache and judgment, and like this moment where like as a kid you were really excited about something and you showed it to people and you didn't get the reaction you were hoping to, and just find that kid, and from the perspective of a wise adult, explain to her that this is just one experience. There are many people, and maybe the people were excited but didn't show it, or it wasn't a good time, or that eventually you will find people who will be like excited about the same things. I feel you need to get back to this point of like the initial excitement that you had when you only started dating, and I think the way to do it is really work on like taking a step back, like get reacquainted with yourself, like make room for yourself, for your truth, for your true self that feels kind of abandoned and betrayed, and start communicating with her and kind of work on self-love. And don't like seek validation at other people's approvals. Just, flow, be yourself. The right people will come. And you really seem like an interesting person here. And I think that it's very possible for you to close the gap between the fantasies and the real world. Like this, I don't know what it means exactly when I say the fantasies. For some of you, it's this fantasy of a Disney princess, and this prince will come and like carry me away. And for others it will be like just thinking about someone from the past who you missed, that maybe moved or something happened, and like you're always thinking about this person and still attached to him, and then you have to work on how can I become present in this moment and not in the past? And it's all things that are kind of, it's doable if you just like put your mind to it. Start meditating. Meditating and grounding will help you to work on your ability to kind of return to this moment and be here and now. And when you are here and now, it's a lot easier to build something meaningful. Because if you're absent-minded, you cannot actually do anything of value, of true value. And I feel like you kind of know everything I said here. And I feel that you want to start. So the first step I think that will be good for you is think that you're this decorated war hero after many shitty battles. And you want to rejuvenate, to go back to this mentality of a kid. To be able to look at things with excitement and fresh eyes. And ask yourself, how does this work? How do you bring yourself back? And maybe the first thing you'll notice is that you're confused. And if that's the case, it's something that you know. To recognize, I am confused, it's a huge first step to understanding and mapping your situation and become oriented. And you can do the technical stuff. You can always kind of meditate. You have a lot of awesome meditations on YouTube even. If you're not into that, you can just sit and observe your breath. You can count your breaths and observe them, and when a thought comes, just let it go. Like, don't force it out, let it be. Breathe into that and don't attach to it, observe it, and it will leave eventually, and you go back to counting your breaths. You can ground. I have a video about grounding. I will link it in the description below. There's a bunch of ways to ground there. You can just start drinking herbal tea as a small first step, because I believe that big changes don't stick. So like baby steps. Herbal tea, maybe consuming less sugar, which is not so awesome for the nervous system, but you don't have to. And just see, like, maybe you can just promise yourself that once a day you will do something that reflects self-love. Now, it can be just buy a delicious cake, or it may be to call someone, call a friend, or just take a walk on the beach or in the forest or whatever. But something that will reflect your self-love and will kind of make the space for your true self to emerge. And guys, from the oracle we've got, through prayer and meditation, I create a ripple effect of peace in the world here. And yeah, I kind of feel that this is it. Just work on being present, and as soon as you become present and you bring in like the hurt kid you into the daily life, and you kind of start healing process with yourself. You can also, by the way, approach like someone professional, even a psychoanalysis or a healer, to help you. But you can also do it by yourselves, and just don't compromise. Life is too short, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm taking from here. Don't compromise about yourself, your truth, what you deserve, and stop wasting your energy on like just to say that I did something to kind of forward my goal, because it doesn't count if you're absent and if you don't enjoy it at all. Just have fun with it. Alright guys, thank you so much for coming. If you liked it, you're welcome to like and share, subscribe and hit the bell. And thank you so much again, and good luck. And I'll see you at pile number 2. So, pile number 2. What I get for you, wow, so much fire. I want to start with an example to explain what I see here. Imagine one scenario where you're in a public park and everything is fine and awesome, and all of a sudden you notice a storm is coming, and all of a sudden you feel like you're in danger, and you start running away from the storm, and the storm is coming really fast, and you start like running, and you just want to get away from the park. The park is point A, and you put all your efforts into moving from point A. You just like aimlessly running around screaming, and because you don't want to be in the park in the storm. Imagine a different scenario where you're in a public park and like everything is fine and awesome, and all of a sudden you see you and all of a sudden like you get this insane urge, you want a red velvet cupcake right now. Like you need to have a red velvet cupcake, and you know it will make you happy, and you know that the place is closing in 10 minutes and it takes you like 11 to get there. So you start running towards point B, the red velvet cupcake. And then like your energy is focused and you're going somewhere, you get there on time and you get the cupcake. And what I see here, what I get from this reading is that like you put tons of energy of moving away from point A, like you're in a car and like you're flooring it, but you're neutral and you're not moving anywhere, but you just keep doing it because you're panicked from point A. And I feel like point A is some emotional hurt that needs to be healed, loneliness maybe, and I think like you're really scared to be left alone with yourself, and just there is a lot of pain there, and like as soon as everything will go quiet, you will be forced to stay with this pain and acknowledge it and like face it, and you're really trying hard to avoid it. And I feel like you've been very like aggressively proactive and putting on tons of energy into the process of finding love, but all this energy, what I get here, is not actually allocated into finding love. It's more just running away from the loneliness. So you're looking for distraction most of the time. You make sure to stay in noisy places, surround yourself with people and things to do and places to go. Just do anything, and it is very unbalanced, and it also kind of, I feel like it entails a lot of like not very pleasant interactions. I feel like there is a lot of fires that start and immediately go out because everything needs to be fast and noisy, so like you won't be left in the like peace and quiet and calm that will allow you to hear your inner voice that like demands your attention. And I feel like your mind is screaming like, I want attention, I need like there's stuff here to be healed, and you're kind of keeping busy like and forcing the process and like doing a million things. And I think that you need to balance yourself and incorporate, because you have like tons of fire energy and I don't see any like water, air, like earth at all here. And I feel like you're really focused on the running from point A. And what it means that even if you find love, you will burn it really fast. You will burn through it in a second, because it will just be another distraction. And maybe instead of looking for the right person, you're just looking for someone who will distract you well, someone who is like really loud and extroverted and also keeping busy, but it's not going to solve the loneliness because you just keep doing the same thing only with someone else and it still feels as lonely. And I feel that kind of like you've got the Lover's card here, and so you have all this love to give, and I feel like you're ready to receive love, but the way you are going about it, spending all your energy on not kind of repairing what's broken, not healing, not paying attention to yourself, just like running around and trying not to hear your heart crying kind of thing. Like, except from the fact that it's counterproductive, but it kind of gets you further from the goal, because you don't actually bring anything to the table. If you will find someone like amazing and awesome and perfect, it won't last because of this type of energy of this insane aggressive fire. There's so much fire here. And what I would tell you is to, like, I want to tell you, you need to meditate and you need to teach yourself to sit quietly, but I feel like you're kind of in this real panic, that kind of like assembly line of keeping yourself busy, and if you stop the assembly line, like the world will collapse on you. And we've got this breakthrough card here, and there's like this guy and tons of bricks, and I feel like what you perceive from the scared place as the world is collapsing will actually be a breakthrough of you like breaking through this wall that's been stopping you from actually moving ahead, because you've got all the potential and the love, and it feels like you are ready in many ways, but you're so determined on not stopping for a second and actually be present and communicate with yourself and make place for yourself to thrive in, that it makes it almost impossible. So I don't think that you're able to sit and actually like meditate for a long time. So what I would suggest to you guys is start jogging by yourself, just burning through energy in a more kind of productive way, and not into running away from yourself, but it will connect you with yourself, but it will like take out all the aggressiveness out of it. Like you won't be burned alive if you will be with yourself while jogging, and it will allow you to kind of develop a dialogue with yourself. It doesn't have to be jogging, by the way. You can just go for walks or like but like alone with yourself. Put on some headphones and go for a walk maybe. Yoga can help you. If you can do short, like 1 minute guided meditations. You can find on YouTube tons of like 1 minute guided meditation, and start like that. And I feel that as soon as you will like, I want to get back to the car example. You're sitting in this new fancy car and everything is awesome and it operates great, and you're flooring it and you're neutral and you're so panicked and you don't understand why is it not moving, and you need to move, and so you just keep doing more of the same shit in hopes of getting a different result. And what you need to do is like overcome the fear for a second, take off the foot from the pedal, take a deep breath, acknowledge where you are, say hi to yourself for the first time in a very, very long time, give yourself a hug. Maybe take, like, if you see that it's not so scary, take 1 more minute to sit there and ask yourself, how the fuck did I get to this place where for weeks or months I'm just sitting here and like full throttle flooring it without moving and like not checking what's happened, where I am and what's going on. And maybe it will kind of start a dialogue, a healthy one. And I feel that that's your main issue. And as soon as you will balance this fire with some more like mental and emotional energy and kind of find place for yourself in your busy schedule, and be willing to sit with yourself, accept yourselves, and like understand that you deserve this attention and healing and whatever you need, I think that you'll completely get there with the Lovers here. Totally. And again, like operation speaking, I think that the best way to approach it is either start jogs or yoga or both. Maybe ground yourself, which can also be awesome. But I feel that it's more important to kind of start moving your mental processes into the place where you will be able to kind of be a firm support for yourself and be a safe place for yourself to like listen like to what hurts, why does it hurt, because sometimes all it takes is for you to acknowledge the things that hurt, and like then they just go away. And that's it, guys. It doesn't sound, I know that it's like easier said than done to stop inertia and like stop this assembly line, especially when it feels like the whole world will collapse, but I feel that you're kind of up to it. I feel like you're a very, very strong-willed people, and it seems like amazing things are waiting for you down the line. And we also got here, happiness is my birthright. So make sure to take it. It is your birthright, and you deserve to be happy, and that's what happiness means. To be able to sit with yourself without judging, without trying to escape yourselves. You deserve love and attention, so make sure to get it. Alright guys, thank you, pile number 2. I hope it resonated. If you liked it, you're welcome to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell. I've got video about grounding. I'm going to put it in the description below. You're welcome to watch it, and there's some information there about walking meditations that you can do. And that's it, guys. Thank you. Bye. Now we're going to pile number 3. So, pile number 3. What I get here for you, I'm feeling this really heavy energy that you've been through some really bad experiences, and it kind of completely closed you and made you lose faith in humanity almost, but kind of close off and withdraw emotionally, like close your heart completely and just withdraw from the world kind of, and you're really like hurt and still angry or bitter about things that happened. I'm not sure that it happened like a long time ago, and it either was like a few bad things that made you, or like someone really done something bad to you, but I feel like you're really hurt, like insanely, enough for you to like withdraw completely and close off, and there is a lot of bad feelings, like, and you're not you don't have this ability to trust anymore almost, I feel. And I feel that I feel like you're feeling like you've been used, like you were giving too much, and I feel like you're scared that you can't help but to give, and it's like a pattern of yours that you give and give and give, and then like the other person just kind of doesn't return the favor and kind of disappears, and that people like disappointed you a lot, so you lost faith, and I feel like your heart is completely closed off, like you're not here anymore, and there's a lot of hurt here. And I feel, first of all, like you still got this energy of giving. I'm not sure that you know any other way of communicating except from giving, but I think you've been just finding kind of the wrong kind of people, like aggressive takers that don't know how to give. And I'm feeling like the first thing that like needs to be done here is, first of all, you need to release. Now, obviously it's easier said than done, but we have this guy here, Struggle, and I hope you can see it. He's got his armor on, and like the clouds usually symbolizes like the mind, and there's a fight here. So he's like, there was some sort of fight and he was there, but the fight is over. Now it's just in his mind, and he's still reliving it. Still wearing the armor, still angry. And I feel that's kind of your vibe here. And I think that you need to ask yourself, first of all, why is this dynamic? Why do you like pour so much onto people before they showed you that they deserve it? Like, and I don't say like feel bad for being kind. Kindness is an amazing like strength, and you are amazing, and it's just like too bad that you fell in such like ungrateful assholes. But like there is a balance, like maybe because there is a reason for it. It's not just like you're just looking to like get rid of your abundance emotionally or otherwise, and like it doesn't matter who takes it. You get to a situation and you draw the kind of people who doesn't necessarily give back. So I think maybe there's like a point of checking. Maybe it's hard for you to receive, or maybe you feel like when you are giving and giving, it somehow reassures you that the other person won't leave because you're like so useful, so you feel less prone to be replaceable in these situations, and you do it just for the sake of your security. the mind doesn't always work logically. Sometimes we have these patterns and limiting beliefs. So, like, what did it serve at your world? To give so much, to be so kind to places where you didn't get back. Like, what happened there? Why are you giving? For example, did you expect to receive back? What was your expectations exactly? And I think maybe you should like look into these things, because the world is full of assholes, and it's our job to surround ourselves with like the best things. And all of us make mistakes. All of us had our hearts broken. Every single human being on earth was screwed over at one point or the other. I'm not saying that you're guilty of anything. Again, like, kindness is a huge strength. But I'm feeling that what screwed you over wasn't the fact that, like, you stumbled upon assholes. It was the fact that you were giving and giving and giving and was disappointed with not receiving back. And I feel that that's something that deserves healing and observation. And what will happen if you won't give so much? What will it make you feel? Like, what will it awake in terms of fears, anxieties? What do you think will happen if you won't give so much? And what will happen if you will be the taker in a relationship? There is this Leonard Cohen song that he sings, you whisper, you have loved enough, now let me be the lover. And it kind of reminds me of that. I think you should try and, when you will be ready for it, to put yourself in a situation where, like, someone else is also giving a lot and you need to receive, and check how does it make you feel. And to help you balance this thing, because there's no problem with giving, but there's problem with giving and being disappointed in the end. And again, like, it's a shame where, like, good people are, like, being disappointed many times, and then they kind of close off themselves, and it's a shame. It shouldn't happen. And I feel that you need a lot of healing for your heart chakra, and I feel that it's kind of, you are in a very bad place emotionally, in the sense of this disappointment, lost faith in humanity, very pessimistic, you like can't see the way out, or how you can ever connect with anybody ever again, or show yourself or give from the heart. But you will be able, and like, you'll be fine. You have, like, it's like you are made out of love and generosity, and to yourselves and the others, and you just got hit really hard and kind of knocked down. But I feel that you'll be back on track, but you need to do the work, which means balancing the chakras, healing yourself. And I think that if you can do practically speaking, you can look on YouTube for heart chakra music, healing kind of thing, and you'll get this music that will help. And you have heart chakra healing meditation. If you're into that, you can go to therapy. You can go to psychoanalysis. It will be, I think it will be amazing for you. And wear green. You need to wear green. And also eat green stuff, like vegetables, like celery, avocado, green apples, whatever. Just like do whatever you can to heal your heart chakra. And like, don't forget to balance all the chakras. You have a lot of meditations for it. And I think it will do awesome for you to surround yourself with things that are mainly love. Like, surround yourself with animals and children, people who love you, who are safe, not like exes or problematic relationships, but people that you know for sure that love you. Like, for some it's the family, for some it's friends. If you could just surround yourself with puppies, I think it will do the job. I think you're really like good person that something bad happened to him and kind of blew all the wind out of your sails. And like, I can't help but to like feel your pain, and it feels like shit. But I honestly do believe that you'll be fine, that like love will prevail, and you'll be like, you are awesome people, and you just got hit, and like, you know, like a sports car, it can sometimes get this like little bump and something goes wrong, and then it takes a few days in the garage and it goes back to normal, and it's even better now after the improvements. And I think after you do this shadow work of asking yourself, why are you like pouring all this kindness into places that doesn't show like the same favor back, I think it will be amazing for you. So again, guys, take care of yourselves. And we also got here, when I'm in alignment with the love of the universe, peace cannot be disturbed. So exactly, guys, balance your chakras. Make sure to like stay away from stressful situations. Surround yourself with love, kindness, and happiness, and you will be awesome. You will be amazing. Thank you very much for coming, guys. If it resonated, you're welcome to like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell. And I'll see you in the next reading.